Hey you scoundrels, how you doing? You alright? Hope you're keeping well and healthy. Tough times at the moment. People have been in touch and they said, Flatside, isn't it about time you got online, told us a few of your stories, showed us a little bit of guitar playing, showed us some classics. And I thought, well, it's a national emergency at the moment, it's the least I can do. So here I am. And anyway, I thought, who should I kick off with? Well, I thought, there can't be anyone else but one of my best mates and great guitar players, Johnny Marr. Loved Johnny, loved him for many, many years. First met him in Manchester back in the 80s. He was obviously in the Smiths at the time. He'd just been working with as they were known then. Matt had it as I think it was the or the. I can't work. I could never work out the way he stressed it. But where it got famous, so he changed it to the, which I think is just as well. Anyway, Johnny had been playing with and I was in a band called Pancreatic Dancer, which was like a reggae band, and he'd been to see us a few times. We got on really well, and we ended up becoming mates and hanging out a bit together. And I wanted to do What Difference Does It Make, because it's one of his great riffs. And I remember there was one time I was we were clay pigeon shooting together, and I said to Johnny, I said, how come, what's your secret, Johnny? How come you can write so many great riffs of such a great variety? And he looked at us and he said, I never forget the look on his face. He said, Flatside, bike riding. I didn't quite get what he meant. I said, bike riding? He said, when I'm writing in the studio, I'll go out in the morning and I'll go out on my bike and I'll take another bike with us. So I'll be riding one-handed and I'll have another bike and I'll just be going along with it, you know, because I can ride one-handed. He's a good bike rider, Johnny. So he'd just be going up and down the streets of Manchester and he'd just ask people. He said, do you fancy coming for a bike ride? No? No worries, mate. Alright, missus, do you fancy a bike ride? 20 minutes, just up and round. Anyway, got a lot of abuse and a lot of funny looks. But eventually, someone would say, well, why? I'll have a bike ride with you. So they'd go around, and this was the secret, he said, what I do, Flatside, is I'd talk to them. And we'd just go cycling around the lanes, and I'd just start asking them about their lives. All their hopes, their fears, their loves, their disappointments. And he said, we'd have a ride around, I'd go back in the studio, and I'd channel all that life into the song, into the riff, and that's why I'd come out with a different riff. It's a pretty amazing thing that he's able to do. If you look at some of the songs, this Charming Man, for example, is a bloke called Paul Thompson from Widnes, plasterer. What Difference Does It Make? Angela McMahon, a dentist receptionist with 2 kids in a loveless marriage. There's a guy called Pete. There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. This is a kicker, this one. Is actually a bloke called Pete, who is a double-decker bus driver. So when Morrissey's singing, if a double-decker bus kills the both of us, well, the irony is just for the privilege, but it's there. It's palpable. And Pete, as Johnny told us after, Pete is the sort of guy that if he did go into a young couple, a pair of lovers, he'd have wanted to go as well. He'd have wanted to die in the crash, because he wouldn't want to have that on his consciousness. It's funny. Anyway, I said to Johnny, I said, it's amazing. I said, how many riffs do you think are in you, Johnny? He said, it's not in me. It's not in me, Flatside. It's in all of us. It's in all of us. And that is why he keeps coming up with so many great riffs. And that sharing of the mysticness of our souls through music is what we need at this time.